Hello, hello. Welcome to the rebroadcast listeners. I appreciate you being here. You can follow me over at catch.me/Jackie Ulmer, JACKIEULMER. Welcome, Julia. Welcome, Nancy. Good to have you guys joining in. I am going to switch things around, move things around, get my microphone plugged in. Hi! Welcome, everybody. Turn off the music. Get ready to start. Dion, good to have you. Alan, I saw you sneak in. Amanda. Trish loves my hat. Like my little starfish hat, my little beachy hat. Yes, I'm a hat girl. I do love hats. Worn baseball caps for a long time and regular hats too, but it's kind of fun. You can do anything with your hair. You can have a great hair day, and then you can come home and work out and go to the beach and do all that kind of stuff. And then just throw your hat on and everything's good. So yeah, Trish, you like hats too. That's awesome. Well, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Appreciate you being here. I have a topic that I'm excited to talk to you about tonight, and that's fear. Mom on a Mission, welcome. But it's kind of funny. I wanted to share something that I got in the mail with you before we get started. It's kind of funny. Chain letters, they still come in. They still work. It's kind of interesting. This is a total label paste. There's 1, 2, 3 labels on here, and they don't even have my city. But it's kind of funny because in this letter today, on the one label, it says, Mike G has done it again, and he is waiting for you. Hey, Michelle, good to have you. So Mike G is waiting for me. Cool. Now, here's the really funny part about this letter. As a marketing heavy hitter, I know you know who Mike G is. I have no idea who Mike G is. So that was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of funny. And then it goes on. I mean, it's kind of interesting, which kind of leads into my topic tonight about fear and doubt and, not worrying about what other people think. But it's kind of funny. This literally came in today, and I thought, well, I'm just going to share this with the Periscope listeners, see what you have to think about that. Do you guys get those still? I know. Julia, right. Who's Mike G? I have no idea. Nowhere in this does it ever state his name. Nope. If I want to hear from Mike G himself, I have a website that I can go to, and I'm going to get some of Mike G's spillover if I decide to join this. And right here it says, he never had to call anyone, cajole them, or tempt them, or persuade them. So it doesn't really sound like a business for me, because I'm into a relationship marketing kind of business about building relationships and creating true value with people. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. All right, so welcome everybody. Sharon, good to have you. Good to have you all on. I'm going to get into the topic, which is fear, doubts, direct sales, and your B-roll. And it's kind of funny. I did a whole podcast series on this in January. So if you listen to my podcast, you can go to JackieUlmer.com, and you can go over there and you can subscribe to my podcast. I do 2 podcasts a week and talk about all different topics with direct sales, social media, mindset, all that kind of stuff. But I spent most of January talking about fear because we read the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. But fear is just one of those things that keeps coming up. And I'm sure you can probably relate. Fear just keeps coming up for most of us. And it kind of doesn't matter how far along you are in your business or your journey or what's going on. We all have those fears that creep up from time to time. And so I've been, I do coaching, and I also am building a team. And with both of them, it's very, very parallel. But it's kind of funny. I was talking to a coaching client earlier today, and we were going through fears and some feelings of scarcity that she was having and just some challenges with that, and we worked through that. But yesterday I was talking to a new team member, and we were talking about those limiting beliefs and different things that had sidetracked her over the last few years. And she asked me to share, and I basically said I can totally relate. I've had a lot of those too. And she asked me to share about that. And so we talked a lot about it, and it was kind of funny. So it really made me start thinking about my own fears with different things. Now, I launched into a new business a little over a year ago, and it's been going great. I've been having a great time with it. And as many of you know, because I've shared it before, you can learn more about me over at JackieUlmer.com. Anyway, I already said that, but it's a makeup and skincare business, and primarily focused on the makeup. And it's kind of funny because the reality of it is I was really excited about the company, the product line, everything about it, just the way they had everything set up. But the reality also was there was a little piece of me that had some anxiety thinking, I'm 50 now, like what am I doing a makeup business? And I kept telling myself, back in my 30s, wow, where was this when I was in my 30s? I would have totally rocked out a YouTube channel with makeup tutorials and, been right up there doing all this and doing all that and fearless and all this other stuff. And now I'm like, looking and going, are my smile lines too big? Do I have crow's feet under my eyes? And all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny because I've been shooting videos. I can't remember when I launched my YouTube channel. I can't remember. But I've been shooting videos, taking selfies. I've had myself out on social media for 16 years. And other than a few times where I've thought, I'm going to retake that. I don't really like the way the lighting looks on my face or whatever. I haven't really thought a lot about it. Have not let it bother me one bit. But when I joined this makeup company, I really did start having some kind of like, oh, who am I trying to kid? And what are people going to say? And I don't want people to make fun of me. And, all this different type stuff. And some of you may be able to relate. Give me hearts if you can relate to feeling ever like all of a sudden having all this self-doubt with what people are going to, I know we get this in direct sales, right? We get this just about yeah, Julie, exactly. I mean, we get this about so many things about our business, the network marketing side of it. But this time I found myself really thinking, thank you, Helen, I really appreciate that. And I'm really not fishing for compliments. I swear I'm not. But all of a sudden, like I had these new fears around putting myself out there and, how am I going to showcase this makeup line without looking like an idiot or feeling like an idiot? And I have a 20-year-old daughter too, and, she does some makeup stuff for me. And, like I never want to be trying to act like I'm younger than I am or anything. And then I really started thinking about it and I thought, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I'm not trying to be 20. I'm not trying to be 30. I'm not trying to be 40. Just because you turn 50 doesn't mean that you don't want to look fabulous, still feel sexy, still feel, like you've got a lot more to give to the world and all that kind of stuff. So it was interesting chatting with her. And I thought, I think the best thing I can do is just get on and do a scope and talk about it and, talk about how we all have fears. They get us at different times. And we just have to learn to manage that fear and not let it creep up on us. So that's where really identifying your target market and a lot of those things play into it, because I started thinking about that with some of my anxiety around it. It was kind of like, well, okay, what I need to do is identify my target market and strategize all of my marketing around that to where my fears aren't going to be a part of it, because I'm focused on the people I need to be focused on, and they're going to hear my message and get my message and receive my message. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you, is that we all have fears, and the reality of it is we all have an A role and a B role. And if you know what I'm talking about with that, think about the movies. When you go to the movies, the A role is what you see on the big screen, right? That's what makes it. That's what makes it onto the big screen of the theater. The B roll is what gets cut and lands on the floor of the cutting room floor, and that's what goes into the blooper reels and all that other kind of stuff. So, yeah, just really, really interesting how that works. So what happens is, in real life, we have an A role and a B role, but the reality of it is they are the same role. Okay, we have one role. Here's the scope I'm doing. I'm seeing it through my own critical eyes, and will later, and you're seeing it through maybe critical eyes too, or whatever. But the reality of it is the same. But what we do so often is we take our B-roll, what we see as our B-roll, and we measure it up against somebody else's A-roll. We see people on Facebook, we see them on YouTube, we see them on Periscope, we see them in all these different areas. We see them sharing, and there's that saying, may your life be as fantastic in real life as it looks on Facebook, right? Because most people don't share their B-roll on Facebook. I mean, we share little pieces of challenging times that we're going through, but most of the time, we don't want to share all the fight we had with a family member or whatever's going on. We don't share most of that stuff. So everybody's life looks great in social media, and when we edit and cut and Photoshop and do all these different kind of things, right, Trish? Never. Everything looks great. But we have to stop doing that. We have to stop taking our B-roll and comparing it to everybody else's A-roll. Comparison will kill you. It's envy and jealousy. It's really the same thing. Those things will eat you up in life and certainly in business and certainly on social media. They will absolutely eat you up on social media without a doubt. So that's kind of what I wanted to share more than anything, is just to embrace who you are and realize that you have a target audience, you have gifts and talents that people are waiting for you to share. We all have fears, and the important thing is to acknowledge those fears, embrace those fears, and really figure out how to work within them. Maybe it's sharing them authentically, kind of like I am tonight with sharing what some of my fears were, and not letting those things really bother you. Hey, Megan. Hey, Mary. Good to have you guys. Not letting those things bother you and eat you alive, because they will. They definitely will. It's so easy to fall into comparison. It's so easy to worry about what people are going to think of us. It's so easy to think that they're thinking about us a whole lot more than what they really are. I mean, it's kind of funny. Today I posted a photo out on social media on my profile page, just kind of showcasing one of the new products that my company launched. I didn't put an order link in there, although somebody did ask me and I did put it in there, which I don't usually do. I kind of wasn't thinking, but yes, comparison mode is deadly. It's so dangerous. But it's kind of interesting. Like, I'm really starting to wade into more of that sharing. For years, I really never said much at all about my business, just very fleeting things, lifestyle photos and stuff like that. But as I'm coming of age and in this new frame of mind and this new project that I'm working on with this company, and building globally and doing all that kind of stuff, and really focused on being a great role model for women my age, younger women who I've been in their shoes. I love working with the stay-home mom market because I was one, kind of still am, but not exactly. They can drive and live on their own and pay their own bills and all that kind of stuff, mostly now. Megan, thank you for sharing and inviting followers. I definitely appreciate that. But that's a big part of it. It's like I feel like I've graduated into this whole new realm of gifts that I can share and tools and techniques that I can coach people on, and I can't let my fear of, I'm not in my 20s and 30s anymore, I can't really rock a makeup business or whatever. I have to let that stuff go because it's not true, and I know who my target audience is, and that's who I'm working to reach out to. So that's really what I wanted to share to help you overcome your fears. And I thought, if I really get out here and kind of publicly do it, then it might be better. Yes, you have to snap out of it, Kendall. It's so right. You have to snap out of it because you're not serving anyone, most of all yourself, by staying in that mode. We play small when we do that. We definitely play small, and it doesn't serve anyone. It really, truly doesn't. And even, with the whole stigma of direct sales and what are they going to think of me? What if they think it's a pyramid scheme or whatever it is? The reality of it is, I can tell you this, I feel so blessed that network marketing was shared with me. And I feel so fortunate that even after I got past my own skepticism in the beginning, I feel so fortunate that I embraced it, because my life today would be so totally different if it weren't for that. Mike, thank you for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate that. My life would be totally different than it is today. I would probably be I would be back at work, most likely in a cubicle somewhere, trading time for dollars constantly. Chris and Mary, Seattle, good to have you. That's what my life would be. So when I think about it, I think, geez, I'm so grateful that direct sales and network marketing was offered to me. And what if it hadn't been? Would I have ever found it? How long would it have taken for me to find it? What would have happened in that way? So it's very, very interesting how that all happens. So that's what I want to encourage you to think about too. When you offer your opportunity, it's important to remember that you're offering a gift. You're not asking for a favor. You're offering an opportunity. You're not asking for a favor. You're doing them a favor and offering them a gift if they choose to take it that way. And if they don't, oh well, poor them, but good for you for at least offering it, because that really is the key more than anything. So think about that with your gifts and talents. What I would love to leave you with tonight more than anything is, when you get off, I want to encourage you to sit down with a piece of paper and write down what your gifts are. And don't be hard on yourself. You have them, and you have them. I know you have them. I would love to hear them. Share them over at facebook.com/streetsmartwealth. Go share them under my Periscope. I have a little thing on there about my broadcast. Go share what your gifts and talents are, and I'll be over there. I would love to encourage you in that way and embrace those gifts and talents with you, because we all have them. And we have to acknowledge those in ourselves first so that we can put them out into the world. That's such an important part of it, acknowledging it ourselves first, and then others will begin to see it too. But we play small so often when we don't recognize those gifts in ourselves, when we don't recognize that power that we have within ourselves to touch another life. One of my dearest friends in network marketing is Margie Alaprande, and she shares a great story of literally driving all night, going to a meeting hundreds of miles from her home, leaving her kids at home, and all that kind of stuff. That's right. It's a gift list instead of a wish list. But Margie shares this story of, like driving through the middle of the night, traveling, spending money she didn't have to go to a meeting where I think only 2 people showed up, and one man in the audience was a Russian who barely spoke any English. And he didn't sign up right away, but he ultimately signed up and went back to Russia and built a multi-thousand-dollar organization in Russia. And I think it was last summer she was over there, and they had all the children who had come along as part of this downline. They invited them all to come up on stage. And Margie was blessed with being able to see what her commitment to making that drive in the middle of the night, leaving her own children behind, spending money that she didn't have. She shares a story of literally sleeping in her car, going into a gas station, plugging in her electric curlers and getting ready. This was back before she had any money to really build her business. Today she's a multimillionaire, but she shares that story, and that's the power of it. As she looked around that room and thought, what if I didn't go that day? What if I had quit? What if I had, let that person before who had said, oh, did you get involved in one of those? Those are a pyramid scheme or whatever it is. What if she had let all of that stop her and hold her back from moving forward, making that drive when she didn't want to, all night, blah, 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 to present to 2 people, one of whom didn't hardly even speak English, thinking, well, that was a total waste of time. And look at her life today, and look at the lives of all those other people. So you have a story like that, and your fears and doubts and your B-roll are not supporting that story. So you got to get your game face on. You've got to totally get your game face on, and you've got to get out there, and you've got to share your gift with the world. Let people see that gift. Let them experience that gift for themselves. If they choose not to accept it, that's up to them. But what if they do? What if one person does? I have a person on my team right now, a new person on my team who I didn't sponsor, but one of my childhood friends did, who is having a rock star start to her business. And she's someone who could really use this business for a number of reasons, medical issues and stuff like that. And I am so excited by it because I think, first of all, I think shame on me because she was on my radar and I didn't share it with her. But good for my team partner, my good friend, for doing that. And what a story that I believe we're going to be able to have. So it's just those ways, and it's built confidence in her, and she's having fun, and she's tapping into gifts and talents because she's a drama girl, and she knows radio, and she knows video, and she is finding all of this fun ability with this business to be able to tap into those gifts and talents that she couldn't before because she didn't have an outlet for that. And I look at this and I think, there you go. Now, if I worried about every other person from elementary school and every other person from high school who may see what I'm doing and go, oh my gosh, please, put a sock in it or whatever. If I would have let that deter me from where I am now with these people who are my target audience, what a shame that would be. So you have the same thing going on. You have the same thing going on. Build that blog, build that social media presence, make that list, contact those people, put those doubts and fears aside, put on your game face, know that you've got your A-roll going every single time, and with every step that you take, you're moving yourself forward, but even more than moving yourself forward, you are putting it out there to help someone else move forward. And don't all of us want to know what difference we can make in this world, especially as you get older? I was kind of sharing, a lot of things happened for me when I turned 50. I became an empty nester. I lost my favorite dog. That was really hard. I started being called on by my parents who are aging to, be more of a caregiver, and they live in a different state. I also realized that the second half of my life was unfolding in front of me, and I needed to figure out what I was going to do with that. And so I sat down and thought about all the ways that I wanted to serve not only my family, but the global community. and I love serving women, and I love a global business, and I love social media, and I love impacting others and sharing everything that I've learned. And it's all come together in what I'm doing now, and I'm so grateful for that. And you know what? It's not perfect. What is? Nothing's perfect. But it's as close to perfect as it's going to get for me. And for you, whatever it is that you're doing, most likely that's the case too. So I want to encourage you to sit down after this, write out that list of your gift list, as Megan said, write out your gift list, not your wish list, write out your gift list, share it over on my Facebook wall if you want, share it with somebody, share it with somebody. I would love to be part of you sharing it with me, Twitter, facebook.com/streetsmartwealth, whatever it is. I would love to be a part of that and know what that is, so that we can help you embrace that and really move it forward. So that's it. I am having a hard time. I don't know if I'm seeing any comments. I have not been able to see comments except for occasionally. I can't see my count roll. I can't see most of it. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, I would love to see those. I appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much. I hope that my message tonight made an impact on you. I hope maybe some little piece of what I shared is going to resonate with you to make you realize where you're playing small, where you're putting way too much weight on your B-roll and your fears, and maybe, come up with a way that you can move beyond that. So thank you, Trish. Thank you, Megan. Definitely appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate you sharing it, the hearts, all that. And that's what I have for tonight. So yeah, Dion, absolutely. I'm glad. I hope that push to move forward will help inspire you so that you can inspire someone else and they can inspire someone else. And we really can uplift the world through the message that we have. So that's it. Everybody have a great evening. Have a great rest of your week. And don't forget, you can go to directsalessocial.com. Sign up. That's our Facebook group for direct selling and social media, bringing those together. If you're not part of that community, would love to have you there. Kendall, good to have you tonight, definitely. And I will see you all on the next go. Thanks so much.